The Ottoman Empire fell more than a century ago, so why do its footprints still live on in the borders, wars, and tensions of today's world? Because the Ottoman Empire was not just a great state of the past, it was a power that for centuries controlled the connection between Europe, Asia, and Africa. It dominated sacred cities, trade routes, strategic seas, and regions that remain critical today for energy, religion, security, and global geopolitics. To understand the Ottoman Empire is not only to look backward, it is to understand why the modern map of the Middle East, the Balkans, and part of the Mediterranean is still shaped by memory, rivalry, and fracture. The Ottomans emerged in the late 13th century in Anatolia, in a region shaped by the collapse of old powers and the struggle to control the passage between continents. Their rise was not accidental. They occupied an extraordinary geographic position. Very early, they understood a truth that still defines geopolitics today. Whoever controls the points of passage controls far more than territory. With the conquest of Constantinople in 1453, the Ottoman Empire changed history. The old Byzantine capital became Istanbul, and with it, the Ottomans came to dominate one of the most strategic centers in the world. From there, they expanded across the Balkans, Anatolia, the Levant, Egypt, North Africa, and key zones of the Black Sea and the Eastern Mediterranean. But their importance was not only in their size. The Ottoman Empire was an architecture of power. It controlled trade routes between East and West. It influenced religious pilgrimages. It ruled peoples of different languages, ethnicities, and faiths. And it served as a wall, a bridge, and an arbiter between worlds. For centuries, it was one of the great powers of the international system. For Europe, it was a rival, a threat, and a partner. For the Islamic world, it was a center of political and symbolic authority. And for entire regions, it was the framework within which taxes, loyalties, trade, security, and government were organized. The Ottoman Empire also revealed a deep geopolitical lesson. An empire does not dominate only by force. It dominates when it turns geography into a structure of power. But no empire is eternal. From the 18th century onward, and especially in the 19th, Ottoman power began to weaken. Europe was industrializing, military rivals were growing stronger, nationalism was rising, and the empire's peripheries were fragmenting. What had once been a structure of imperial integration became a geography of tensions. The Balkans turned into a stage for ethnic, religious, and nationalist clashes. European powers saw the empire not only as a weakened rival, but as an opportunity. And the Eastern question became a struggle over who would inherit the spaces Ottoman power could no longer hold together. When the empire entered the First World War, its fate became tied to a transformation much larger than itself. After its defeat and final collapse, Ottoman territory was redrawn, and there begins one of the keys to the modern world. Many of the current borders of the Middle East were born not from organic balances, but from agreements, partitions, and designs made after the Ottoman collapse. That helped create new states, fragile identities, and tensions that still have not disappeared. Syria, Iraq, Palestine, Jordan, Lebanon, and other areas were marked by the transition from Ottoman order to a modern state system that was often artificial or incomplete. In the Balkans, Ottoman memory did not disappear either. It remained alive in identities, religions, territorial disputes, and competing historical narratives. Even modern Turkey, born from the ruins of the empire, still moves between two inherited questions: whether it should act as a modern nation-state or as a regional power with imperial memory. That is why the Ottoman Empire still matters today, because many of the fault lines of the present were born from its expansion, its administration, and its fall. Because it controlled straits, seas, and routes that are still vital. Because its disappearance left vacuums that other powers tried to fill, and because its legacy still shapes the way we understand religion, sovereignty, borders, and identity in a region crucial to world politics. The Ottoman Empire is not just history, it is one of the deep layers of the current geopolitical order. If you want to understand why the modern world has these borders, these tensions, and these rivalries, you first have to understand the empires that help shape it. and the Ottoman Empire was one of the most decisive of them all.